Hey guys, Sally here. I went and did some observations yesterday in the Manchac area. Manchac is this wildlife area, and there's a little outlet that comes on the other side of the transmission lines. It's the far side of the transmission lines. So I wanted to share these observations with you guys. It's my first time to really sit down and get a chance to look at them good. So you're just going to go through it with me. Let me get my screen set up. I actually meant to set up my screen a little bit better before I started, but I did not. So, yes, I have to get the chat up and some pictures, etc. So just give me a brief second. Okay, let me see. Pop out chat. Okay. Got that now. Okay, yes. Let's do a little screen share. All right. So the area that I was in yesterday, we basically put in over here. I think it was around this area we put in, and we came out past this way down this little canal right here, and we popped out right here, which is the opposite side of the transmission lines. On my normal observation spot is here, and yesterday my observation spot, I eventually got to shore. I'll show you some videos where we were I was trying to film while I was on the boat, and it was just impossible. So I eventually went over here to this shoreline, which was fun and full of animals. It's about here, somewhere up in there. Oh, why won't it leave the mark? Anyway, I wish I would just leave that mark there. But about that area, so you guys know. Okay. So the guy that took me out, the only stipulation was that I just do a shout out for him. So it's the guy, Brian Cryer. Brian Cryer, he's a realtor. You need to sell your house in my area. There you go. Thanks, Brian, for taking me out. Hopefully he'll take me out again when I need to go out there. All right, let's see here. So I'm just going to take you. We'll just go through each of the pictures. Might as well. This is a wide-angle shot, obviously, of the transmission lines. Can't see much down there, but you can actually almost start to see them curving down there, even in this wide-angle shot. Like I said before, you can actually see the curvature with your eyes when you're there in person. There's one of the first shots on the boat. A lot of these shots are not very good quality because I was trying to take them from the boat, and it was hard, let me tell you. It was very hard. The waves were just throwing me around. One of the interesting things to point out is how you see less and less of the bases of the pylons as they get closer to the horizon. Eventually, you just lose them altogether. There was some mirage down there, of course. It's still too hot for really clear observations, but yeah, there's a picture I took while I was on the boat as I'm being tossed around. There's a pretty good one. Not too bad. Yeah, so there is a tower down there on the far end, just like there is here. But there's also, you'll see some of these shots. There's also photographs of some smokestacks that are beyond the horizon. So the smoke's actually rising up from beyond the horizon. I'll show you those in a little bit. A lot of these are going to be wide angle shots because on the boat, it was just impossible to zoom all the way in. And I have some videos here that I'll play as well, so you can see what I'm talking about, just how bad it was. So it started I started scouting out some areas over here that I thought I wanted to go to, just so I could get on the shore. And of course, all that is completely undeveloped marshland and swamp, basically. So I was a little bit nervous standing there because we do have alligators, and especially this area has a whole bunch of alligators. And they usually don't bother you, but if you walk up on them, they're going to bother you. So this is the towers that are normally in the distance. There's actually two. They are normally lined up in my observations from the interstate. And this particular tower is on land. That's the only short tower that's on land in my observations. And then the next tower that's off, the first one that's in the water, is actually got a different base. This is the boat he took me on. That's him leaving as I'm standing on the shore there. Let's see here. And this is what I was standing in. I mean, just completely undeveloped swamp, essentially. I was just expecting to step on a snake at any moment. There's one of the shots. And I do end up zooming in a little bit more on these pieces down here. Some of that is smoke coming up from one of the plants that's off in the distance. There you go. There's some of the smoke coming up right there. Or steam. I'm not exactly sure what it is coming out. Pretty obvious. I mean, the curvature starts all the way back here. You can just watch it curve all the way down. So yes, this is one of the observations that people were asking me for, to go to the opposite side just to make sure that it curves both ways. It does. This is going to be a cool observation during the winter, I do believe, when things start to clear up. Ah, yes, this is a cool observation. That is the Marriott Hotel, or Three Lakeway Center, actually. Whatever this barge is, I don't know, somebody's barge. It looks all trashed out. Somebody must be living on it. But yeah, so here's the horizon. Here's this barge right on the horizon, and just behind it, you can see Three Lakeway obstructed. And you can also see if the next one's New Orleans. Still more of Three Lakeway. Let's see. Okay, here's a wide angle shot from my location. I'm going to show some videos here in a second. I'm just trying to hurry through these pictures, see if there's anything good. I mean, these are some pretty cool pictures, you know, of Three Lakeway being obstructed on the horizon right there. So from this location, about 20 miles away from Three Lakeway, so the less obstruction. Makes a lot of sense, actually. Instead of 24 miles, I'm 20 miles away. More wide angle shot of that same barge and Three Lakeway. And what else? Yep, more of those. See what we got here. Another one. A little clearer shot of some of the smokestacks. See this one right here? Look at all those birds. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? But look at this smoke coming up over the horizon right here. These are more pictures as I'm getting back. I'm back on the boat now and headed back that direction. Okay. So let's look at some of these videos. Some of these videos, I'm just going to pan through so you can see just how crazy it was on the boat, how shaky and wobbly it was. So it's just like impossible to keep the camera straight and zooming in like the long distances was just nearly impossible. I mean, I can't even stabilize that video because it's so wobbly that there's I mean, the whole scene is just going in and out of frame, so there's just no way to even stabilize that. I might be able to stabilize clips of it, but it's just not very good quality. It's almost impossible on that boat. So let me just skip to when I start getting to the, or it probably better just go straight to the shore, but just kind of gives you an idea of just how hard it was to hold this thing stable. So bad. Get seasick watching those videos. Okay, I'm on the shore now. Let's see. Some of these are still difficult shots to make, but oh, here's just the area I was in. There's that tower I was telling you about. There's the first tower that's offshore has different type of pylons on it. I'm guessing because it's just a lot more shallow there. But once we go back around, yeah, all the rest of them are the typical pylons. This is me just setting the camera up, trying to get it straight. Pretty good shot. Whenever I zoom all the way in, I think that's max right there. But I start losing focus. It was a difficult shot to get, that's for sure. The area I was in was difficult. This is a little better shot here, a little bit more stable. I think that's full optical right there. But even, full optical is actually almost too much right now because it's just so hazy down there. But when you back out a little bit and you see this, profile shot, I think that's actually more impressive right now for the time of year it is. Just because you can see it, you can see the curve right here coming all the way in. And once we get to about right here, we're in mirage. Yeah, pretty cool. Let's see. I'm actually more impressed with New Orleans from this location. And I'll once I get to those, I'll show you what I mean. So here you go. Here's a full wide angle, all the way to, that's not max yet. I'm trying to line it up still. Yeah, there's max. Max optical is right there. So during the winter, that's going to be pretty cool. This is me trying to line up New Orleans. You can see New Orleans right there on the horizon. Now, the cool thing about these New Orleans shots, let me actually back up a little bit so you can see a little bit more wide angle. So there's New Orleans. And if you remember just a second ago, I showed you a picture of 3 Lakeways over by this barge right here. And here's New Orleans right here. And the cool thing about this New Orleans shot is, if we go back to the map over here. So I was standing, I say I was standing like roughly like somewhere up in here. So let's measure that. Use this little measurement tool. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. So if we use this little measurement tool as a straight line to New Orleans, right, here's New Orleans here. You notice that right here, right just before the 20-mile marker is the causeway. So in this photograph right here, I'm looking across the causeway, and the causeway is completely underneath the horizon. No causeway to be seen. That's pretty interesting. Which is closer to me, by the way. So I'm looking over the top of it. an object that's closer to me. Shouldn't perspective bring it back in? Anyway, pretty cool observation. Really looking forward to cooler temperatures. Yeah, this kind of gives you the whole like the whole context of everything here. So I'm looking at New Orleans, zooming out. There's the transmission lines. Now pan here to the left where you can see the context of where I'm at. That's the transmission line on the shore here. And here's the two large transmission lines or towers or whatever you want to call them. Then I pan to the right and zoom in. Yeah. Pretty cool location. Want to go back during the winter. Don't really want to go back out there again until things clear up because don't really feel comfortable standing there, to be honest. I'm expecting a gator to come after me at any moment. Let's see what we have in these next few videos here. I'm trying to find one that I could just play that's stable enough to just play. There we go. That's not too bad. Well, of course, it blurs out there at the end. It is one thing about the P1000. You know, the P900 suffered from the same problem whenever you go to max focal length and you're trying to focus on things. I think I ended up putting a manual mode right here and it ended up focusing it manually. Yeah, it looks like I did. When you start trying to focus things on autofocus all the way at the very end of its focal length, like its max focal length, it's not very good. The autofocus is not very good at all. So the cool thing about the P1000 is they do now have a manual focus ring, or at least you can set up the ring to be set up for focus. It's not set up for focus by default, which is really weird. But you can put it in manual video mode, and you can manually focus down there at the very end. And I really would like to get a monitor to bring out with me because even in manual focus mode, it's hard to tell if you're really got that sharp focus or not because it's the little view screen is just so small. But you can get pretty good even with that little view screen. So let me see if this is a good one here. Okay, there we go. I'm starting to get a little bit more stable now. Yeah. So that one is a pretty good one to watch in real time, it looks like. Little 18-second zoom in. Just to show you just how far down there I'm zooming. I mean, it's way down there. Obviously, a lot of mirage going on there. Yeah, make sure to get the context of the area that I'm in. That's one of the things that people like to see is the context. So hopefully I'm doing a little better with getting the context. This was just a scouting run. I knew I was going to have some, you know, bad scene conditions just because of the weather, but I figured I would still go out and do it because, you know, one of the things I like to make a point of is that I go out there and I make these observations year round, so we can see it in all different types of weather conditions. And the cool thing about that is because it's in different weather conditions, you can tell that the curvature can't be based on some type of magical refraction or whatever the flat earthers like to want to talk about, because the weather conditions are changing, you know, throughout the year. So if you have consistent curvature in constantly changing weather conditions, then the curvature has to be explained by something else. And the explanation is that the Earth is a globe, quite obviously. This is a really cool spot. The transmission lines, they are a cool thing to photograph, but they're hard to photograph from both sides, man. It's just to find a stable place that's also not going to get you soaking wet and also not going to get you killed. It's hard. It's hard. This is a really hard subject. But I will be back out there, and hopefully during the winter, some of this grass will die down, and that animal life won't be so active, and we'll have clear seeing conditions. So it's definitely going to be cool during the winter. And Brian's already told me he'd be willing to bring me back out there. So let's see what else we got here. New Orleans. I think it's this one where I zoom out and find three Lakeway as well. Yeah, there it is. So that kind of gives you some context here. Let's see if I can get both of them in the same frame. Yeah, it's not quite the same frame, but shows you obstruction of both of them. I think I only have a couple more here. Then I thought I might show you some of the just the videos of us going through the area, so you get a little bit of context. Yeah, to me, this is one of the coolest shots. I mean, you have this barge right on the horizon, three lakeways being obstructed by a significant amount. It's hard to tell where the mirage is starting here, but I believe there is some mirage right here. But what you don't see is from this angle, we should be able to see like two Lakeway up in here somewhere. Might be behind the barge though, I'm not sure. This is just more contextual when you play this one at regular speed. So yeah, this is obviously the shore, and it's all marshy. It's kind of a mix of marsh and swamp right here. And the marshes are like these big, almost like I don't know. It's just large areas of nothing but like grass that is just very, very low wetland with grass growing on top of it. And this is pretty much marsh right here, but if you go just a little bit further back, it's kind of a swamp area. And like I said, we do get gators and of course all different types of wildlife here. So next time I might want to go back with some type of platform to stand on or a board or something. What else do I have here? Maybe one more shot. Oh yes, totally forgot about this shot. So let's see if I can find that bridge real quick. So I was looking this way. Where is that bridge? I forgot the name of that bridge actually. No. Yeah, so there's a bridge way back here, and we're seeing the very, very top of it. And this is something it's a bridge that sticks out whenever you're driving to New Orleans, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head for some reason. I should look this up. That'd be much better if I could just point to it instead of. think this is it right here. Hellbog's Memorial. You see the shadows right here? Here's the arches, or I don't know what these are called. But basically the arches of the bridge, yeah, this is it right here. You see the shadows, the shape of them. So we're seeing the very tip, the very top of that bridge. And Hellbog's Memorial, yeah, there we go. There's a good picture of it right there. So let's see how far away that is. So that is about 24 miles. So, about the same distance I normally shoot whenever I shoot across to the Marriott from the North Shore. But we're getting just the very top of this bridge. And this bridge is tall, very tall. So that's something interesting to maybe try and go back and get a better shot of during the winter. So that is what I'm seeing in this video here. I'm shooting from there. Yeah. So that's what I'm seeing here. Pretty neat. Obviously, you can see, the mirage. This is mirroring the top of the bridge about right there. That's a pretty cool observation. What's this last one? Oh, this is the smoke, yeah. So whatever these smokestacks, there's some plants over there on that side. Whenever you're on the interstate on that side, you can see these plants. So it's really hard to make out which plant that is. But the cool thing about this observation is you can see that this steam or the smoke or whatever it is just coming from over the horizon. I mean, you can't even see what's producing it. All right. Well, that is pretty much it. Just wanted to share that with you guys. Let's see what's going on in the chat over here. See if anybody's talking to me. All right. What's this? You're an animal. Who were you? You're an animal before this person, because I don't recognize the name. Compression zone effect. That's hilarious. Got some more electrolysis observations for us. Yes. I'm all about that electrolysis, guys. All right. Soundly, get a 4 amp hour 12-volt battery, power inverter, and a cheap 1080p monitor. Works great and will run at least 2 hours. Yeah. I mean, I have solutions for. I have a battery. I should be able to run a monitor off of it. That's really not the problem. I mean, that'd be easy to do on the causeway, right? Problem comes that where I am is just soaking wet. There's no stable land, no stable ground. I need to figure something out. Maybe bring a piece of plywood with me one time or something and just throw it down. That would help out a lot, I think. Yeah, we'll figure it out. Jesse Kozlowski has an observation coming up. 2 weeks, Manhattan skyline from Pine Creek Beach. Shout out to Jesse. Got to CGI some gators into the video for more realism. Oh, a P900 on a Walkera. Holy crap, that'd be awesome. Hey, LGB bathroom. Oh, no worries. Inverse hyperbolic tangent. We all mess around. It's fun. Flat out. Thanks for the $2. Appreciate it. Looks curved, but I'm keeping it flat anyway. Flat out, I loved your Equinox experiment. That was great. Should have put some suntan lotion on. Oh, I am Rick. What's up, buddy? I thought I saw a video today. I am Rick versus Flat Out. They're going to be having a debate, or y'all did have a debate. I thought I saw a notification come in. I have to go check that out. Where? Uh, it's called the Mississippi River. That's YouTube is blocking somebody saying "hate a dick." Thanks, Jesse. I am Rick. I knew it was going to be a comedy, man. I am Ricky's waffling. Hey, Movie Vertigo. Movie Vertigo, you've had some pretty cool videos lately. Really enjoying that stuff. I don't know how you don't have more subscribers, to be honest. Everybody go subscribe to Movie Vertigo. Movie Vertigo has this 360 Star Trails video. It's probably one of my favorites. You guys got to go see that. All right. Well, I've got to the end of my chat, and I'm done showing my observations. You know, it was a scouting trip. Wasn't the best observations. Hot, bad weather. Still shows the curvature. Just a lot of unstable video. So next time, whenever I go out there, I'll be trying to get a little bit more stable platform, hopefully, at least a better tripod. I did use my old tripod, which just does not work very well. Didn't work. I mean, it worked good enough with the P900, but with the extra weight, the P1000, it's just so much like lens droop. It's not even lens droop; it's the tripod that's drooping. It's just not strong enough, really. Um, so I do need to get a new tripod. And Dandy Pandy actually had one that was made out of metal, and I really need something like that because that thing was like heavy duty and it could hold anything. But yeah, that P1000 is super front heavy, like Movie Vertigo said. Survey tripod is a good idea, Jesse. Yes, me and you need to talk offline about that. Maybe I can find me a good used survey tripod that I can mount the camera to. That would be a good idea. I totally agree with that. Or a barrel mount. Yes, it's a good idea too. Movie Vertigo. Still, even with the barrel mount, I'd want to have a better tripod. I was going to bring my my telescope mount, which Smite just mentioned. We're all thinking along the same lines. So I was going to put it on my telescope mount, which will hold it very well. I just need to get an L bracket for it. So that's a good idea. We'll figure some stuff out. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do yet, but certainly if I have one of those tripods, Jess, you're going to ship me a tripod. What? You don't have an extra one? No way. Those things are expensive, aren't they, Jesse? Rigging a counterweight. Yeah, I mean that. I don't think that'll be necessary if I get the right gear, Sean. But if I use my same tripod, it would be. It's my tripod. My tripod just sucks. That's all there is to it. I need a better one. Tripod out of railroad cross timbers. That would be portable. Okay. All right. Pretty much it. Going to shut it down. Thanks for watching, and I'll be having more videos coming out as fall and winter roll around. I'm definitely going to be going out to the causeway again. And I'm definitely going to be, once I get into some good weather where I know I have a very good chance of having a good day whenever I rent out a hotel room, I'm going to be going up into Three Lakeway again. And I will be doing a live stream from Three Lakeway. That is my plan. So I will plan that out to where where I have, what I want to do with that live stream, guys, is I want to have people in the chat. I want to have OBS set up, and I want to have it set up so that people in the chat during the live stream give me instructions on what to do with the camera to prove that it is a live stream and not just a playback. So I want to make sure we do that, and I'm gonna while I'm there, I'm actually planning on doing like a short hangout where people give me instructions, and then I'm going to probably do another live stream that I just leave the camera on for like an entire day, while I go to New Orleans and enjoy New Orleans. And that way the camera can just be sitting there live streaming. Well, as long as the battery lasts. So we'll see. I'm definitely planning on doing that. That's going to be happening for sure, because that's probably one of the easiest things to do. And that's what I've always suggested to other people that are interested in these observations. Probably the best observation to make is the causeway, because the causeway has public access everywhere. You can go wherever you want to. There's nice manicured lawns and riprap that has been weed eated all the way up to. I mean, it's well taken care of, especially around both ends of the causeway, because it's all nice areas. And if anybody ever wants to come here, I mean, visit New Orleans, but also visit the North Shore. The North Shore is really nice. There's a lot of cool restaurants, and it's more like a quaint town. The North Shore. The Lakeshore lakefront has nice little restaurants and some nice pubs, some good beer. So it's a great place to visit while you're there. Like maybe evening visit up to the North Shore. It's only a 25-minute drive across the causeway. But New Orleans is also awesome. So take your vacation here and come enjoy. All right, guys, shutting down. Thanks for coming. Have a good night.